All right. The next topic is Avowed critic reviews. They are in. The game, I think, is sitting around a Metacritic score of 80 and 79 on PC right now. Okay. I fucking told y'all. Watch out for those damn early reviews. We had a whole podcast on this shit.
Yep.
Talking about early reviews. Boy, did they make this game look like the next fucking 2025 game of the year on their early reviews. All the guys were, they were just busting all over it.
Well, here's the thing. Me and Ed were talking last night, and before we do our podcast every, Tuesday, we always talk the night before. And this is what we were talking about last night. I've never seen, you have some big hitters that are actually on the bottom side of the spectrum than when they're usually at the top. It's like they're pulling. It's like a weird tug of war. You know what I mean? Like IGN and GameSpot, which I don't know what happened to them. They actually gave it a low score. Or lower compared to everybody else.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about
it's kind of like their check didn't clear. Like they didn't get the check.
Lead up to the early, before IGN scoring even came out, and all these other ones came out. The lead up to the early access. Yeah, on the lead up to it, all the YouTube. Some of those YouTubers, streamers, and the people that get these early, the early copies of this game, you got to watch out for it. But you remember the early reviews were just like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. You saw like 9.5.
Revolutionary.
I know.
So far in my playthrough, the game's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But I want to talk about it because a lot of these companies gave it, that you see like one company gave it 100, which is absurd. I don't think, it has to, there's only like 2 or 3 games that have ever been made that are 100.
You can play for an hour until it's not 10 out of 10 game.
But you see a lot of 90s and stuff like that. But IGN and GameSpot gave it a 60. Like that's that's what I'm talking about. IGN gave it a 7 there. But what did they give it on here? Where's that score? Let me see if I can find it. Keep on going down because they didn't give it like it was like low.
Screen Rant, Atomics 9, IGN France.
No, it's not in the 80s. You can just scroll on past that.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm curious on the other scores.
IGN Spain. Like say here we go.
IGN 70.
Okay, and what did GameSpot get? Then which one gave them a 60? GameSpot gave them a low.
Yeah. You said IGN at first.
This
is just the Xbox score.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like they're on the opposite ends when they're usually lockstep with these people.
Let's change it to PC. Forbes, can't try.
Boy,
is this Paul Tassi?
Are you probably?
No, yeah, he's Forbes, right? Yeah. Oh, it's Paul Tassi.
Oh God,
our favorite person in the world, Paul Tassi with the big old 9. He didn't play this game. It's not enough.
Deutschland.
You can make the case for 8 so far in my playthrough. Again, I'm not done with it, but you can make a case for 8.
But what do you think? There's PC Gamer. Give it 8.2. There's new. I didn't see that.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Keep on going down. Because
New York Times at 8.
New York. That's what I'm saying.
Does anyone go for game reviews to the New York Times? And these are the same guys that are voting members on the Game Awards.
That's weird, man. Like I've never in my life had to say, hold on, guys. I'm not buying this game until I see what the New York Times has to say.
It's like going to LA Times too for your game.
Jeez.
I think they are also a sponsor of the Game Awards. They are a voting member of the Game Awards.
Keep on going down.
Game and Age, RPC, MRPG 75. That's fair.
I forgot about that website.
Yeah.
I haven't checked that website in a long time.
Video Gamer, PC Games N. I don't know who the fuck that is.
GameSpot gave it a 60. Okay, now here's my point is usually a lot of these people are in lockstep all the time. So that's a big gap for for them. That's a huge gap. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like to give it a 60 compared to what they would usually do whenever these games, you don't see that very often. That's what I'm saying. You don't see these people. Because whenever Dragon Age came out, Concord came out, all these games came out, they were the ones that were giving it like 8s, 9s, all this other stuff.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now. All right, so the cutoff so far with my experience so far, I would say the cutoff would be, I wouldn't agree with the 9 for this game or a 10, but I would not also agree with the 4 or below. Okay. So
that's fair.
I would dismiss any score 4 and below or 9 and above.
Yeah, 4. that's just hating right there.
Yeah, that's hating.
It's not a 4. You can find. I can see that. I'm just trying to figure out why would GameSpot of all people give it a 60?
Yeah, it's kind of like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I don't know, dude. I think they probably gave it a 6 out of 10 because you could disable the pronouns. They didn't like that.
I didn't think about that take. That could be.
You think I'm fucking with
you? No.
I'm serious.
No, that is a good point.
I bet you the way some of these
they feel stabbed in the back. They feel
check this
E2 Brute. That's what they feel. They feel like that.
Go check their Dragon Age review and tell me they didn't review it off politics. Oh, it's actually in the review.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that. I remember
Their
that.
political agenda is asserted into the review,
which is crazy because every one of the reviewers and everybody, we went through everybody we went to everybody's Twitter account. Remember that? Everyone has pronouns in their bio, every single one of them.
Episode, I can't remember episode that was, but we have that. We talked about
that.
Whatever we're talking about on Twitter right now about all the review scores when it comes to people with pronouns of bio and doing like ideological reviews. We already talked about that in October.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But check this out. When it comes to GameSpot, you can't sit there and tell me with a straight face that they would not mess with the review score due to the fact of the option to disable pronouns in this game. You can't not tell me that.
What does it say right there?
You're not serious. They wouldn't do that, right?
I'm curious. Read that first paragraph, like what it shows. You don't have to click read more. What does that say there? Read that loud.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
On multiple fronts, Avowed holds so much promise that it struggles to follow through on. While combat feels impactful and gives you options to experiment with, it's hamstrung by the overall reliance on gear upgrades and scarce resources that prevent you from fully enjoying the creative freedom it initially advertises. It's a world fun to explore.
I just want to know if they have anything that's political.
I can agree with that. But they talk about scarce resources. I mean, the thing about this game, there's no such thing you clear area. There's no like cleaning up. Like if once you open a treasure chest, that's not respawning. And when you pick up like a corpse that has stuff in it, it's not respawning. So whatever you clear in the area is cleared for your game through your actual, current game play or game, I guess, playthrough.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, resources can be scarce, but I mean, the point of the game is, I would kind of argue that is you need to pick a build. Like if you're going a warrior build, pick what weapons you want and build around that at the very beginning. Do not try to, mid through I want to do this. Don't do that because you're not going to have the resources for it. So the point of it is to make a character, pick a build and stick with that build. That's it's bad, but at the same time, I'm just warning people who actually want to play this game.
Yeah.
Pick a build and stick with it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Tell me so far, because I know you haven't played the whole thing, but so far what you played, tell me 3 things you like about it and 3 things you don't like about it.
I think the combat's better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I actually like the combat.
Okay.
I mean, it's very Skyrim-like. It is, but it's a little bit more impactful. Like with at least the play style I'm going with is like charge in your face. Enemies just fly across the screen. As
like a barbarian, just type
straight up.
Yeah.
Sword and shield, or I actually have an axe and shield now.
That's cool.
And a 2-handed mace, just waylaying thing. And I have like skills dash and stuff to just, pretty much put enemies on the ground or send them flying. Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because when you bash them and it's like a linebacker hitting something and the enemies fly. Like if I'm hitting like a goblin looking enemy, it's flying. So I kind of like that. And the block and the engagement one-on-one with like a boss is fun. It is actually fun.
Cool. Okay.
Like being able to block and stun it and making your companions use certain skills to try to get it stunned so you can use that special move on it, hit it hard. So I think the combat is better than what I thought it was going to be.
Gotcha.
But you can still play a modded Skyrim to give you that combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could. So it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's fun at the beginning so far. Again, I remember I just got 5 hours gameplay right now. So this is
how's like the story? Is the story good? Is it
story's okay? You have to. All right. So the problem with this game, it doesn't tell you everything up front. It kind of gives you a basis. So when you're in dialogue at the very beginning, for anyone that wants to play this game, make sure you use the extra lore button when you're talking to an NPC and you're doing that cutscene of like talking to characters. There's a button you can press that gives you highlighted lore. So if you're not sure what something means, it gives you that option. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 16. You remember you had the lore thing, right? When you're talking to characters, you could actually pull up the lore in the middle of the conversation and pause the conversation and see what stuff meant. And so you actually got to do that in order to understand what certain things are, because it kind of gets thrown in your face very fast. And you're kind of, the story's going on. And if you don't know like what certain things means, you're going to be confused. But so I did that at the beginning and I understand the story. So the story is okay. It's not like good, great. It's okay. The dialogue's good though, even though the character NPCs are god awful looking. The women are god awful looking. I mean, everything has like the same base. Like nothing looks different besides the facial features and the hair.
So Splace has a question for you. He said the combat looks like Elder Scrolls Online. Is it?
Now, it's better than Elder Scrolls Online, the Elder Scrolls game, you know. But Elder Scrolls Online is like, it's an online game. It just has a different feel.
Yeah.
The Avowed is more in your face, impactful. Like every hit feels good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and you have to approach a situation like every boss kind of differently. Like you're backing up, you know, you're using strategy, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. But Avowed is more impactful combat-wise than Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
But it's still similar because it's Elder Scrolls-like.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So what are some things that you've encountered that you don't like? That you're just kind of like, you know.
Right.
Like, it don't have to be like super bad. It's just anything that you're kind of like, I don't really like
Character
this.
creator sucks. The godlike powers, like it's like you can put mushrooms on your face and like sea animal looking things. It's stupid. Like it's just fucking stupid. It's like you're going to a masquerade ball.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? It's like just dumb, but it's to identify you having godlike powers because that affects how your conversation is with the NPCs because your character has godlike powers.
I see.
But then like the NPCs are just bland looking. The dialogue lip movement is actually pretty good. I don't know if that even matters, but it's decent. The dialogue's not bad. There's a lot of dialogue. If you want to understand the story, you have to, you know, click in those lore things. So I would say actually that could be a bad thing also because the story isn't like really explained to you up front. You got to engage it.
So they don't like hold your hand like in most games.
They don't. Exploration's good. I mean, it is not a huge world from what I see, but it is. There's exploration. You know, there's decent exploration. What else I don't like about it? I wish there was a little bit more RPG mechanics when it comes to the abilities and like skill points and stuff. I think it'd been better if they went with more of a Skyrim feel with that. Like, you know, being able to have a one-handed sword and shield branch and you could like click on all that stuff. Instead, you have like more of a, you know, if you're doing like a warrior type archetype like class, you have dash and you have like very limited number of skills you can go into when you level up. You know, it's not like it's not huge on that. So that's a bad thing about it. It's not like a lot of RPG mechanics. But like I said before, so far it's just a good game. Not great, not elite, not game of the year. It's just good.
So you would agree with it being 7 out of 10?
I would agree with the 7 right now. Yes.
Right now.
Yeah.
I got you.
You can make the case for a 7. You can make a case for a 6. You can make the case for an 8.
I got you.
Anything above that right now, I don't know yet.
Yeah. But when you finish, you're going to give the official DMG a review.
Yeah, but I do find it funny they made the pronoun thing is you're able to disable it in game.
Well, I think they call a lot of hell
flack and they decided to do that. I bet that was a last minute change too before the release.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Let's see. Let me stop sharing that real quick. Let's talk about some other things. Let me go to my actual playthrough so far.
Okay.
Before we move on to the main subject or our next subject. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you my crash.
Oh yeah. So for those who don't know, and when Ed first started the game, he was going live, and because usually like if I'm at work or whatever, he'll be like, "Hey, share this," you know, I'll share it. I noticed that he was playing it, and then like 10 minutes later, he wasn't. I was like, "Well, what happened?" Well, we'll see. The game crashed on him at the very beginning.
It crashed from the story beginning when you enter the game, and then as soon as the character creator appeared, it gave me a fatal error. All right, so let's.
They're not off to a good. Well, they weren't off to a good start at that point.
For it and a review for it, basically, kind of like our presumptions of it was all the glowing early reviews for it up front before the game release for the people that got their hands on it. That kind of gave us concern. And then, of course, today IGN dropped it review as a 7, I think. And it's gotten 9s, 8s here and there. But we're going to play it ourselves and then eventually, probably a week or 2 from now, give an actual review on it. But let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to go ahead and close the camera. The beginning part is like the story.
Oh, that's funny. You can hear it already struggling.
Yeah. Hold on. For anyone watching, we're kind of finding the...
by fugitive from danger out into many years ago. The wheel you came in.
Yeah, Spikes is right. He wants to know, are you going to triple braid your beard like the character in Avowed? Oh. You should start dressing up like the characters that you play.
All right, here it is. All right, so for anyone listening to the podcast, basically I'm watching the beginning trailer. I entered the game. I'm watching the beginning trailer, and it's about to go to the character crater. There's my mouse. And that's it.
Oh, man, that's great.
I'm pissed off right now.
I know you look like it. Oh, wow.
I am pissed off. Look, I'm looking at my phone like...
I know, you look puzzled. Like, you just look so puzzled, like you don't know what the fuck's going on. Didn't you have to, like, didn't they have, like, a patch and all kinds of stuff? You had to, like, repatch it?
No, I just repaired the game. They didn't have a patch. So I repaired the game, and it was fine after that. But it's just so weird. Like, it's funny how we were talking about, you know, how the developers were talking about the glitches and everything. Look at my face, dude.
I know, dude. Yeah, I know, man. It's funny. And then the reason why I know that is because you, like, prepared for this moment all day. Because you're like, hey, man, I'm about to go live. All this.
Got my stream going up. You know how long it takes to do that shit?
I know, man.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Anyway, let me jump up.
You're trying to figure out what's going on.
Dude, it was so buggy. Right here. That's kind of anticlimactic. Along with, you think they have, I mean, they did say it. The devs said it themselves.
They did.
At the get-go, that it was going to be buggy before they released it.
But you didn't think it was going to be like that at the very beginning. You at least thought you'd get into the game.
And yeah, I thought, yes, releases.
That's incredible.
All right. We're going to restart the stream here in a little bit, probably in about 15 minutes.
That was an hour later because you were so busy to go cool down.
Let's pull up our actual gameplay that actually worked. Although I will say let me mute it. All right, well, we're going to have the gameplay play in the background. All right, so my next playthrough, my next stream, no issues. It actually played well.
Okay.
No crashes at all, and I haven't experienced a crash since then, since I repaired it.
So you're
but
basically
repairing
just going...
a game, like once you download it, it shouldn't be an option.
Yeah, you're right. So explain what you're doing. What's going on with all this? Like,
this is the beginning. This is your intro. Like they give you a spear, and that's it at the beginning.
I got you.
And basically, what you're doing is they're teaching you combat. You know, teaching you the buttons and stuff like that.
Kind of just teaching you, basically. Yep. I got you.
And how the game works. And eventually, like here, I don't have any skills yet. It looks kind of bland, but it's more. How can I explain? You got to play the game to feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels good. You know, again, not anything revolutionary, but it just feels good when you fight in this game. Yeah. Okay. But that's it. You know, it's nothing special. It's nothing that you can't get from a mod.
It's cool. It's cool how it keeps the blood on your weapon. I do
that's cool. When you're fighting things, you'll have blood on your armor and everything like that.
That's cool.
Until you rest at your camp.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just killed this thing because it was. I thought it was an enemy. I thought it was a bit of a skin it or something, but no.
Like an old chameleon.
Yeah, but they have traps in the game you have to watch out for. This is me just trying to avoid a trap. I didn't. I ended up getting hit by it. I already got hit by it.
It's like you, you like walked up to it and looked at it. Like,
there's a trip line right there. You grab that potion. You see that trip line? Yep,
I did.
And I jumped. Yep.
That's funny. You like walked up to the holes like, oh, what is it?
You can gather in this game. It's like anything. There's a lot of things you can pick up like any Elder Scrolls game like this. But anyway, yeah. So my playthrough, I mean, like I said, so far with like 5 hours in, it's nothing beyond good right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, like you can say 7. Okay, whatever.
So let me ask you, is it better than you expected or about what you expected?
It is better than I would have expected. Okay. I thought the combat was going to be really bad. Like it was not going to have any feel to it.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, and you can't blame people for thinking that because they didn't really show anything.
If you look at this, like this is nothing right now until you get skills. But if you look at this, like this is how the gameplay looked in all the trailers, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look special. And that's what we talked about at the beginning. But it feels better when you actually are playing it.
I got you. Okay. I mean,
let's see if I can get to some later combat so you can see what I'm talking about. This is me. Half the game, I'm like looking around the entire time. I bet that was a boring ass stream.
This is like the second game that your character just looks generic.
Yeah. I got some good fights today, though. They were actually pretty fun. This is like, there's a stealth mechanic too, so you can sneak up on things. I think I failed at this one, but
gotcha. Are you still like in the tutorial section?
No. This is actually outside the main town.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm actually exploring the game.
So there you are with your camera.
You see that?
Oh, that's cool.
It's my charges.
You're just knocking people back.
I can just send shit flying, and you can block. You know, you have a stamina bar for the blocking and stuff like that. But it feels good when you're hitting things.
They did say there's a lot of bears in this game.
There are a lot in the beginning. There's a lot of bears, but now I'm doing sword and axe. So I can just kind of chop things up, have a high critical chance and all that stuff.
I got you.
See that? I just hit him like a baseball.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty cool, though.
But that feels good. Like in the game, it might not look like flashy here, but it feels really good, like when you're doing it in the game. But again, it's nothing special. So far I've enjoyed it as just a decent, good RPG.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm still, again, very beginning. All right.
It's not that long of a game, though, is it?
It's like 50 hours. You know, it's not too long.
That's not too bad.
It's not like Skyrim that you can the exploration is just ridiculous, right?
Or like,
I don't think this game is like that.
or like KCD2,
I'm
where,
not sure.
where you're doing all the other stuff?
I'm gonna 100% it. Like I'm gonna explore everything. I'm gonna see,
Yeah.
and then I'll be able to see my game, like my game time and everything like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I 100% Dragon Age and every game we've played so far and did a review for. So I'm just gonna 100% this and then give a real score. All right, let's stop sharing that. All right. So as our Avowed wrap up, you know, we did warn about the early reviews for this game to watch out for them, and everything's looking to be an average good RPG.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think the user reviews are going to be?
I think they're going to be around the same. You know, between your 5 to your 8. It's going to be in between that, I think.
So if you had to pick an average, where do you think it's going to like average out?
Like 7-ish, 7,
6,
something
8,
to 7.
6, 8 to 7. Gotcha.
Yeah, 6 to 7. Because it's just going to be, you know, people want to just say it was good. There's nothing groundbreaking, nothing new.
Okay.
Just, you know, another Elder Scrolls genre, you know, that you can play.
Yeah.
With a little bit different take on things, but
yeah,
you know, that's pretty much what it is. All right.